over to Miss Erin Bush now. Go ahead, Erin.
Well, Laura, thank you so much. It brought me to tears, that introduction. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to your team. I'm excited about it. I hope that my objective tonight is that you leave with actual tools to do what you can to motivate your team and maybe be a little bit inspired by my story and what I now do to transfer that inspiration to my team. So really quick, I used to be a high school English teacher. That was my career. Decided to have kids, and when I had my third, my health plummeted. And I did how everybody has the 2 to 4 exhaustion. I had the 10 a.m. exhaustion. And it was so debilitating. I could not make dinner. I could not go to the store. If we had something that was happening that night, I had to reserve my energy the entire day to get there. It transferred into extreme agony when walking. I had to shuffle from parking my car in the parking lot at Target to the little handicap ramp because I could not step up and down a curb. That and taking care of 3 kids, young kids, got me to the point of such just absolute living. My life was consumed by everything I was feeling physically. That sapped into me emotionally, it sapped into me spiritually, and I was completely depleted. I had nothing I could give back. I had no hope. I felt completely helpless, and no matter how many outside sources I went to, professionals that I went to, I was not getting help. Enter the little pink drink, enter that beautiful little BioCleanse, and especially ProBio 5, and my entire life changed. I am not perfect. I have not physically, completely, and utterly back to my 20s. That has not happened. But I can live life now with a joy and a hope that I had forgotten those 8 years even was possible for me. So to be able to go from someone who was angry and miserable and irritated and my family walking on eggshells to now be very little, I'm like the calmest person on the planet in my home. I still have days where that old self raises its ugly head, and I don't believe in myself, and I don't believe that I can get better. I still have days like that. I never want to believe that I have arrived at any time. But I do think now that God has given me this story of literally, I want to say, dying inside, emotionally and just mentally, everything, to such hope and joy and positivity. And I'm not perfect. Again, sometimes those lies of Satan come in and I listen and I remember my old self and I go back to that old man. But I can see it. And so I want to give you some of those tools to do the same for yourself and your team. Okay. So today we are talking about how to motivate your team and reevaluating your presence and your posture, both in your life every day that you go about your day and also on social media. There are 4 pillars of belief. If you are a Plexus ambassador, there are 4 pillars that you must absolutely and utterly believe in. 1, products. Easy, right? You are all here because you know someone or you have yourself physically been improved because of our products. 2, our compensation plan. Again, not an issue if you are here tonight because you have seen people advance. You see the recognition on plexusworldwide.com every month, people advancing. You yourself have experienced an income coming in, maybe even just from purchasing your own products. The compensation plan, you believe in it. Pillar number 2. Number 3, network marketing. This is the one that I see in the very beginning, a lot of new ambassadors crumble on, because they get one person that says, what do you mean you're doing that MLM thing? And they crumble. There are ways to build belief in your team on network marketing. We'll talk about those in a minute. But that's the 3rd pillar of belief. The 4th is self, yourself. This is the most important pillar of all, because you can believe in the products and you can believe in the compensation plan and you can believe in network marketing, but if you do not believe in yourself, you will not make that dream happen that you are working toward. So you must have that 4th pillar, and we'll talk about that at the very end and how you can work on that. Okay, so first and foremost, you must be all in. If you were on this call tonight, you are probably all in. But you do still need to evaluate yourself. Are you all in to the point that if you have an obstacle, you can get over it? If you have a bad day, are you tempted to quit on that bad day? Or do you know in your heart that you cannot quit on a bad day? That if you're going to quit, it needs to be on a good day, which means you won't quit. So evaluate yourself. Are you all in? Oh, I think we're frozen.
I think we lost her there for a second. She might be having internet issues. She's probably going to try to log back on, is what I'm assuming.
I'm here. I'm back.
Oh, there you go.
So
okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Where did we leave off?
You were on Am I All In?
All right. Yeah. So are you all in for your everyday, tedious, income-producing activity? Do you go to bed thinking about Plexus? Do you wake up thinking about Plexus? Are you fitting it in the nooks and crannies of your life? Deciding and committing is most important. But if you are on here tonight, I'm guessing that you are all in. All right. Now, you want to make sure you believe completely and utterly in products, in comp plan, in network marketing, and in yourself. If you are, then your life on social media and just day-to-day should be reflecting that belief. Things as simple as being bold enough to wear a shirt that says Plexus outside to a neighborhood gathering. Or doing something like posting on Facebook, your why, or something like that. Are you all in that way? Now, we're going to go through 3 ways. Oh, no, wait. I have 4 ways of making sure that your Facebook wall and your life reflects these 4 things. Passion and positivity. Believing in all of this and reflecting it on your team page. If you have your own team page, I know one of the things I hear the most is, my team doesn't get it. My team isn't running. My team, I can't find any runners. Nobody really wants this the way I do. And if you have your own team page, you have got to look at it from the perspective of your team. Are you inspiring them? Are you building their belief in those 4 ways? Now, if you don't have your team page, your own team page, are you doing that in your messages to your people? Are you doing this on your wall? Do they know without a doubt that you believe in those 4 pillars? So you can still validate that real life. It doesn't, when I say positivity, I don't mean, you're a Pollyanna where you believe that everything good is always going to happen in the end, no matter what. But it does mean that you come from a perspective of gratefulness and you come from a place of positivity, even during the obstacles, like maybe a back office change or something like that, right? You vent to your upline, you vent to your power partner, but in front of your team and in front of your non-Plexus people, you are positive. Okay, and even if you don't feel it, you act like you do. Actions can always come first when it comes to belief, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. All right, so having passion and positivity. Second, being vulnerability, and your why. They talk about the why that makes you cry. If you do not get teary and emotional when you think about why you are doing Plexus, then you have not gone deep enough yet. Now, once you get that why, if you are not constantly coming back to that on your team page, on your wall, with your people and your messages to them, people are going to forget. They're just going to go. You must constantly have what it is and why you do it in front of you. It is like something you wear. People look at you and they know why you do Plexus. You are your brand. Your brand is your why. You must have that. Okay, be willing to go deep into your issues prior to Plexus and into even your embarrassments or even a humiliation like I have, what you were like pre-Plexus and what you are like now. Showing the realness and the vulnerability of that heart pain, that heart issue, that feeling, that emotion that you had pre-Plexus, and then show the redemption and the afterwards of Plexus is so powerful. My business did not explode. I did not have the opportunity to help people until I came out from hiding and was vulnerable. That vulnerability launched my ability to help people. So you must go there. Okay, it is so easy to hide on social media. Don't do it. Be real, be yourself. You can tell the bad parts, but always end with the good, the powerful parts that Plexus has changed. This is the power of stories. This is the power of testimonials. We are so big on sharing, and that sharing, what is the biggest connection of humans is to be seen and to be known. That's what we want more than anything. And when someone can read your story and connect with you, they feel known, and that's how you help people with Plexus. Okay, so vulnerability and your why. Have it before you at all times. When you do a welcome call, I hope you're doing this with your team, when a new level 1 adds a person, an ambassador, that you are doing a 3-way Zoom, ask them, why have they joined Plexus? They're not going to have a why that makes them cry yet, most likely. But that will be a foundation for you and their sponsor to go back to help build them as they grow and as they go in their journey with Plexus, reminding them what their why is, what their hope is, what it was before, and what it can be in the future. So just a little tidbit there. Number 3, launching with language. Okay, this is a really tiny point, but I feel like it's the biggest point, because your language has everything to do with how you inspire and motivate your team. When you post on your team page or send a message or anything, are you reading what you are sending before you send it? You must get rid of the word if. If you decide to share, do not say that. when you decide to share. If your mom purchases from you, when your mom purchases from you. Using will with yourself. I will have my behind in Alexis and my toes in the sand in Kona. I will be able to retire from my 40-hour-a-week job with the boss that I can't stand in the next 2 years. This is where I am going. This is what will happen. Those words are powerful. And not only just for everyone else watching you, they are powerful for you. Your subconscious does not know one thing from another. It only knows what you tell it. Your soul only responds to what you consciously tell it, actually unconsciously too. So when you are purposeful and intentional with your words and your language, you respond and you build your own belief. When you build your own belief, what does that do? That gets everybody else around you believing too. They believe in you, and then it starts to reflect that they will believe in them. And now that leads to inspiration leading to motivation. Okay. I can sit here and I can talk to you until I'm blue in the face. I can say the same thing over and over and over in one sitting, and you may hear me and you may even absorb what I say, but in 3 days' time, you're not going to remember. So think about this with your team. If you are talking about something, believing in them, building belief in network marketing, whatever it is, you have got to say it over and over and over. When you go to, let's say, a Christian camp, maybe a conference, and you come, they talk about coming down off the mountain. You know, you go up the mountain to the conference, and it's this wonderful time of fellowship, and then you come back down, and now it's real life. It's the same thing in front of your team. You've got to be constantly inspiring, because that constant hearing, that consistency of hearing the inspiration, that's what leads to action and motivation. Now, that does not mean that everyone is going to jump on board. It doesn't. But those who are ready and in the place to hear, those are the people that will jump on board. Okay, so because remember, motivational speakers, it all feeds off of emotion. And that emotion, how you intrinsically use it, depends upon the person who is listening. Okay, all right. Let's see, make sure I'm looking at my notes really quick. Okay, the more you can be in front of your team, the better. I really do believe that too. Voice messaging, phone calls, Zoom meetings. And as you do that, they get to see you, they get to hear your voice, they get to hear that passion and that positivity, they get to hear that inspiration, and that motivates them to run. Now we're going to go back, though, to the fourth pillar. Because you know how on your team page, you know how in your wholesale ambassadors and in your ambassadors how to build product belief, right? It's educating. You know how to build belief in compensation plan. You tell them about it. You guys share, what were you able to pay for this month? How did your paycheck bless you? You know how to do those two things. You may not know how to really build belief in network marketing. So I suggest you get something like the 4-Year Career or read the beginning of GoPro and really understand what network marketing is and how it works. And that will help as you relay that to your team. And of course, as their team grows, they will believe in network marketing. So that is an important pillar as well. But the last pillar is the one I see people stop. That's the one that they hit that wall and they cannot go past it to grow anymore. So this is, if you are in a place in your business where you are finding that you are not growing, your team is not getting past this hump, you have got to reevaluate your belief in yourself, not your belief in your team, your belief in yourself. So how do you do this? First of all, let me explain to you why it's not belief in your team, but belief in you that matters the most. Belief in yourself. Think about a mom of toddlers. And I mean, she's up first thing in the morning, making everybody breakfast, hardly has time to shower. She's managing everybody all day long, down for naps. It takes forever. Then they're up. And then she's got to make dinner. And then she's also had to make lunch. And then she's got to do this, that, and the other thing. Or she's a working mom and she gets everybody out the door and she goes to her own work where she gives, picks everybody up from daycare, comes home, gives. And by the end of the night, there's laundry and homework and everything else, and she is depleted. What do we say to that mama? We say, you have got to take care of yourself. You've got to exercise. You've got to eat right. You've got to go to bed at a good time. You've got to take a weekend away. You got to take a nap. And what does she usually say? I can't. I've got to give to everybody else. And then what happens? She maybe resents her family. Maybe she feels bitterness towards her spouse. Maybe she starts to hate who she is. She hates her life. She's not living in joy in the moment, right? She's not there. She's not present. She's not with her family. She's thinking about the 10 million other things she's got to do, the way she wishes her life would change, and so on. Okay, so what does this have to do with you? When you do not believe in yourself, your energy is not spent on your team. Your energy is actually spent on not believing in yourself and believing all those lies. And this is a crazy concept, but if you believe in yourself, you can unselfishly give to your team and to anybody else who is not in plexus yet, who is going to come. Now that sounds kind of weird. How can believing in myself end up with me being unselfish? Well, think about that mom. She doesn't want to stop and give anything to herself because that would be selfish of her when everybody else needs her. But we're on the outside going, girl, you got to take a break. You've got to pour into yourself. You can't pour into your little people at home if you don't pour into yourself. It's the same thing here. If you do not believe in yourself that you can do this and that you can be a jewel, your team won't believe they can either. Your team won't believe you can. Now, what does that do? It crumbles motivation completely and utterly. So let's talk about how you can change this. First of all, you have got to spend some time alone and digging deep. Listen to your thoughts. Are you saying things like, I can't do this? People won't listen to me. I'm not as good as someone else. It's never going to happen. Let's see, I don't know. There could be all kinds of things. If only this would happen, then that would happen while you sit back waiting for someone to message you about plexus. Or the worst, of course, is the comparison. I'm not like so-and-so, and therefore it won't happen to me. I'm going to be a little bit vulnerable with you right now. I had gotten to a place in my business that was incredible. I turned emerald sooner, ranked emerald sooner than I thought I would. And the day I ranked emerald, I did not think, woohoo, I made it. We did it. You know what I thought? I don't deserve to be a diamond. That was my first thought. Now, this is after months of me intentionally changing my thoughts, getting to the point where when I was at Leaders Retreat as a Ruby in October, and Rita Davenport said, if you're an emerald, stand up, and I bodily moved, I had come to the point where I completely believed that I was an emerald, that I actually had to hold on to my seat and I felt a little stupid looking around because I wasn't an emerald yet. And yet I believed enough that I almost stood up. And here I am now, an emerald, a few months later, and my first thought in my head is, I don't deserve to be a diamond. I don't look like one. I don't have the wardrobe for one. Whatever was in my head, that thought was the first thing. So I had a choice right then at that moment. Do I listen to that self-deprecating, destructive, really evil in a sense, cruel thought? Or do I take it captive and do I change it? I chose to take that thing captive and change it. Now, it took a little bit of digging for me to figure out that that was my sticking point, that I had to dig deep and understand where that was coming from in order to get past it. So you have got to do the same. If you are not advancing as fast as you want to, or we all have different journeys, so please don't compare even to where you think you should be. But if you are not growing the way you would like to, you must look at yourself and go, okay, where is the obstacle? What is it? And dig deep. When you say things to yourself like, I don't deserve, it will not happen, I can't do it, I don't have this, I'm not like that person, you are depleting your soul. Your energy is not helping your team. Your energy is going to feeding that negativity in your soul. So you have got to figure out what you are doing that is sucking that God-given precious life, those words that are so destructive. What is sucking the life out of you in that way? And get rid of it. Because when you don't believe in yourself, you cannot attract runners, and I know you want your team to succeed. I know you want to succeed. So when you change those thoughts and change those words, that will happen. Okay, so just like the mom who has got to invest in herself so that she can take care of everybody else, so do you. Self-examine, intentionally change your thoughts, intentionally change your words, feed your soul with your Creator's words. You are good enough. You will grow into this. You can do it. With your hard work, you deserve to have it. Think of yourself where you want to be before you are there, so that at convention, when they tell the emeralds to stand up or the sapphires to stand up, you're like holding on to your seat because you now believe it so intrinsically. You are responding. And people want that. They are attracted to boldness and confidence. And that is what changing your thoughts, that belief in yourself, does. It puts out confidence and boldness. It's attracting. It's inspiring. People want more. And that's what what you can give them is more, not just the money, not just the health, the more emotionally, the more spiritually, being their better, bolder self than they ever imagined they could be. And that can come from you. But first, you have to change what you say to yourself. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm done.
Oh my goodness, I'm speechless. So good, Erin. I don't want you to be done. Wait, how long was that? You were awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. I'm going to just really quick just ask if anybody has any questions. I bet you everybody else is speechless as well. So I have so many notes written down. It was so awesome. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Erin? We have 45 people on here, Erin.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions if you guys have any.
I was going to ask you, did you read the book? Did you get a little bit of that from the book that Sonia Dudley trained on? Or what did you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you know what's fascinating about her training was I felt like everything that she had said, I was like, oh, I've been doing that. oh, good.
That's awesome.
But then, as you see, even though I had listened to all of that stuff and had changed the way I thought, still I went Emerald after that Sonia deadlift training, and I still had that thought that came in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a few books. There's what, this one is really good. Self-Talk Soul Talk.
Okay.
This one is really, this is I never really thought about that I was talking to my soul. I mean, I knew I was talking to myself. We all do it, and it can be as simple as "you idiot," when you do something stupid. But there's another one, "What to Say When You Talk to Yourself." It's a little red and white book, and I can't remember the author. That one is really good too. Sonia suggests getting an app on your phone called Repeat It Again.
Oh, okay.
And, I would suggest when you sit down and you really self-examine, don't type. Write with a pen. There's something just neurologically from and I don't know the details, but the brain to the pen, it's much more intimate. And so when you are going deeper, I would really suggest, it took me a while to get to the point of thinking I don't deserve, that those were the actual words. I was writing a bunch of stuff that I thought maybe I was talking to myself about negatively, but then when I hit, I don't deserve, I physically felt different. So I knew I had tapped into my issue. Yep. So when you physically feel that, or it brings you to tears, it brings a little thing in your throat, you've hit it. Now, I really suggest you change your wording so that you say things like, it's very positive, like there's no negative in it at all. I deserve to be a diamond. Or I'll give you another example. So my son, on his very first soccer games, he was out there and he was not being aggressive at all. He's very aggressive at home, so I don't understand what the problem was. But I was so tempted to yell, "Stop being afraid! Don't be afraid! Don't be fearful!" And that still has a negative in it, right? So when we changed it to, and he wasn't this yet, but when we changed it to, "You are so bold, you are so aggressive, you are getting that ball," his whole demeanor changed. Because what is he hearing? He's hearing fearful, he's hearing afraid, but then on the other end, now he's hearing aggressive and bold and going and getting it. So make sure that your words are such that there is no negative word in it. Don't tell yourself, "I'm not afraid." I am bold. I am courageous. Yeah. Language is really, really important. There's so much written out there on language and the power of it. So if this is an issue for you, I would suggest spending some of your self-development time that you do weekly in that area and understanding language, and then how to use it in your own life.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sorry, that was a very long answer to your question.
It was awesome. Okay. Thank y'all for answering those questions for me. We got Kelly's question.
Oh, good.
What was the book Sonia taught from? What do you say when you talk to yourself? Yeah, it's supposed to be an amazing book. I really want to read it. Yeah, it's so true too, Erin. You brought something amazing home, and basically talking about, as a leader, our passion and our belief is transformed into our team. It truly, truly is. Like, the more passion and belief I have, the more passion and belief everybody that joins my team, everybody that's on my team is going to have. So that is so true. So I just constantly have to be building that, and we can't let anything negative come in our way. So
even when we don't feel like it.
That's right. Exactly. It's awesome. Thank you, Erin, so much. Let's make sure we don't have anything. I really appreciate you taking the time, and you're just so amazing. And I just can't wait to spend some time with you in Vegas. Woo! And I know, right? And then we're going to get to see each other in Hawaii in September. And we're hoping a lot of you are there with us soon. But thank y'all so much for being on. I always really enjoy our Sunday night Zooms, and I love you guys. I'm praying for y'all always, and we just appreciate Erin so much. So thank y'all for being on.
Wait.
Wait. Okay, Sarah said wait.
I was sitting here praying about what the preacher said today that was so important that well, I'll tell you. He said, pray your praise, and then it becomes your prophecy.
I like that.
It's just, I had to, okay, that's it.
I love it. I always love what you have to say, Sarah. You're amazing.
Thank you, Laura.
No. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Everybody have a great night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you.
Bye.